Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Starr Midday News. And coming up on the bulletin today, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture urges young Ghanaians to acquire farmlands in order to benefit from free inputs for cultivation program aimed at enhancing food security as we celebrate Farmers' Day across the country.
The share of value added by the agriculture sector to the gross domestic product in 2023 stands at 21.1%. To increase the percentage and create more jobs, the government, under the Planting for Food and Jobs Phase 2, is making free provisions of farm input for anyone who acquires farmland to venture into large-scale farming.
There's so much in store.
Also coming up in the bulletin, man standing trial for murder of Ibuakwa North Member of Parliament J.B. Dankwedu denies killing the late lawmaker. I'll bring you details on that. Also, with just 30 days to Ghana's December 7 election, some homeless persons in Accra say they feel left out of the political process. And we'll bring you more on that on the bulletin. Later on the campaign trail, the NPP running mate Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh comes under heavy fire for once again saying something that is stoking religious tensions after claiming that the opposition NDC dislikes Muslims. We've got details of all of these stories and more making the Starr Midday News Bulletin. Do stay tuned.
Starr News is coming to you live on Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi, Empire 102.7 FM in Takrady, Zeps 95.9 FM in Zebila, Nissim 100.1 FM in Lamshao, MyStar Radio in the USA. Also live on Facebook on Starr 103.5 FM and on starfm.com.gh around the world. This is Starr 103.5 FM. Starr News. Informed, in depth, in touch.
Thank you very much for joining us here on Starr 103.5 FM, the Starr Midday News. My name is Lantam, Papanko. Now, farmers across the country are being celebrated today in the 40th edition of the National Farmers' Day celebration. This annual celebration serves as a key event to recognize the vital contributions of farmers and fishermen to Ghana's economy and food security. Now, this year's theme, Building Climate Resilient Agriculture for Sustainable Food Security, emphasizes the country's commitment to adopting agricultural practices that addresses the growing challenges posed by climate change. Various MMDAs across the country are holding special events in honor of the farmers and fishermen. Ahead of the event, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture urged young individuals to acquire farmland in order to benefit from the free inputs for the cultivation program. There's more in the following report.
The share of value added by the agriculture sector to the gross domestic product in 2023 stands at 21.1%. To increase the percentage and create more jobs, the government, under the Planting for Food and Jobs Phase 2, is making free provisions of farm input for anyone who acquires farmland to venture into large-scale farming.
There's so much in store for farmers in this country, especially the young ones. Under this Planting for Food and Jobs Phase 2, we said that just look for your land. And that's it. That's all. When the land is registered, any input that you require to become a farmer will be given to you under this project. And this is private sector driven. We are just facilitating everything from Exim, from Midday, all those people, Gesa, to put together some money for an aggregator to come to your farm X, and say that your farm is 20 acres, you are producing maize, you require 5 bags of improved seed to cultivate. They will give it to you.
The Deputy Chief Executive Officer responsible for banking at the Ghana Exim Bank, Rosemary Beryl Archer congratulated all farmers for their continuous contribution to the Ghanaian economy and underscored the importance of financial institutions providing facilities for farmers for value addition.
On an occasion such as the National Farmers' Day, we decided to celebrate the farmer because we are agents for the government's industrialization. So today, if it's Farmers' Day, we are taking the opportunity to congratulate all farmers and fishermen. We are assuring them that Ghana Exim Bank, the board, executive management, and all staff, as well as our clients, are behind them. We are behind them to support them with advisory services, with the facilities they need to grow and further develop.
The 40th National Farmers' Day celebration is scheduled for Friday, 8th November 2024.
Well, let's stay on this a while longer. My colleague Obed King Gaglo is at the Farmers' Day event at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. He joins us on the phone with some updates. Obed, welcome to the bulletin. How are these celebrations going at the AMA?
Right, so Lantam, right at the AMA, selected farmers here in the Greater Accra region will be awarded for their hard work of providing food on our tables. And currently, the program is ongoing. The theme for today's program is building climate resilient agriculture for sustainable food security. And about 15 farmers will be awarded today for their various roles. Before now, the Mayor of Accra, Elizabeth Saki, gave an address on how important it is for farmers to adopt a climate smart strategy to help build a very important climate resilient ecosystem. And so the program is ongoing right now, and farmers are being called to come and receive the award. So basically, Lantam, that is what is going on currently.
Very well, Obed. Thank you very much for bringing us that update from the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. In our subsequent bulletin, some more updates will come your way. Meanwhile, the General Agricultural Workers Union is urging the government to take decisive action against Galamsey as we celebrate Farmers' Day. Andrews Adukwe Tego is the GAU General Secretary.
We are saying that we should have ended that yesterday for the various concerns that we have enumerated, some being social and some being economic. Economic is the agricultural production and these other things. But what we are doing for the farmers, we are celebrating today, is that the waters that they drink, which have been polluted, the land that they use for agriculture, which has also been gradually taken away from them, and the level of poisoning that they have been exposed to is one of the biggest worries that we are having, even in the time we are celebrating them. We know that Galamsey is effect, so I will not bore us, but I want to just indicate one key area, that the way the situation is going, after organized labor has called on government and government have agreed to do a number of things. I'm coming from the Takrady area, I'm going around and Galamsey is still going on, and the destruction is still going on. And the dangers for the farmers we are celebrating today are that in the next 5 years, if the things continue the way they are, their health situation will be a very big thing. Should we go and conduct tests, kidney issues, and the rest in the next one? So we are sitting on a time bomb for the farmers we are celebrating. And we think that government should hold the addressing of Galamsey, hold the bull by the horn, and address the issues. We are not interested in how it leads to political issues and the rest. It's a life-threatening. And the people we are celebrating, for me, then we shouldn't be celebrating, because the system will kill them or is killing them.
You've just listened to the General Secretary of GAU, Andrews Adukwe Tego. Now, let's bring you some stories from the courts, because Daniel Asiedu, who is the man who has been accused of murdering Buakwa North MP Joseph Boache Dankwedu, has denied claims by the prosecution that he killed the late lawmaker. He claims he didn't know the MP or his home except when the police showed him a picture. Asiedu, also known as Sexy Dondon, is facing a jury at a jury trial at the High Court in Accra, presided over by Justice Lydia Osei Mafo for the MP's February 8, 2016 murder. He is in the witness box, mounting a defense after the prosecution led by Mrs. Sefako Bache, a principal state attorney, had closed its case, and the court held that Asiedu has a case to answer. Our legal affairs correspondent Mutala Inusa is on the line, and he joins us with an update of what has been happening in court. Mutala, what can you tell us about how this case has been playing out?
Lantam, like you rightly indicated, what it is now is that Daniel Asiedu is so mounting defense to the charge of murder and also robbery, and clearly he is denying that allegations made by the police and prosecution that he killed the late member of parliament is not true, and so he is innocent of the charges referred against him. But what now the court has directed is that sometime on November 12, I beg your pardon, he will resume the witness box again to continue with his testimony. One of the things that he has also been saying to the effect that, look, the T-shirt that the people claim that he was wearing, that T-shirt has not come to the court for him to subject that to proof. But what is clear now is that Daniel Asiedu, aka Sexy Dondon, is saying that allegations that he took the life or he claimed the life of the late member of parliament, J.B. Dankwa on February 8, 2016, that cannot be true because he didn't commit that offense.
Very well, Mutala Inusa, thank you for bringing us that update from the courts. Mutala Inusa is our legal affairs correspondent. And still on legal matters, renowned legal practitioner and writer Professor Nana SKB Asante is drawing awareness on various issues bordering on international negotiations, agreements, and arbitrations, and how it is affecting the global economy. According to Professor Asante, the conduct of international negotiations and effective implementation of international agreements are now essential ingredients of the management of the economy for a developing country. Professor Asante made this call at a 3-day conference set out to strengthen collaboration among lawyers representing the government of Ghana.
And the chief minister that the loan should not be paid for any mining rights previously granted because mineral rights belong to the state. That was what we presented to them, that we asked them to go and study it. In preparing for this, we had to study their documents, their papers, the background. Then we went to Sierra Leone to have a discussion with the Sierra Leone team that had acquired 51% of a foreign-owned diamond company. It was wrong for NRC to acquire 55%. Also, the reasons have been given for not maintaining it because we didn't have the money, we didn't have the technical expertise we wanted, the money to support the budget and all sorts of things. I think it's a shame that even as of now, our mineral resources.
And you've just been listening to Professor Nana SKB Asante, who is a renowned legal practitioner and writer. Now, the Network for Women's Rights in Ghana, NetRight, has expressed concern over how campaigns by political parties ahead of the 2024 general elections are overshadowing discussions on critical issues such as the debt restructuring, taxes, and depreciation of the cedi, among other economic challenges facing the country. The group is of the view that this has compelled them to adjust their messaging in order to avoid appearing biased towards any political party. There's more in the following report.
The 2-year initiative dubbed We Transform by NetRight Ghana focused on empowering women for change and advocating for gender transformative social policies through feminist mobilization by building a broad coalition of women across Ghana. At the project's first-year completion, NetRight Programs Manager Cynthia Sunu highlighted that the storytelling workshop provided a platform for women in marginalized communities to share their personal experiences with social policies and their impact.
There were instances where we had to be careful with our messaging so not to offend anybody or appear being biased towards a particular political party. We engaged different groups of women. We've engaged young feminists, influencers around some of the issues around the debt structuring situation, the economic issues that are currently ongoing in the country. And then year 2 will now focus on exactly was because our advocacy is based on the conversations that we had in year 1. So year 2 will now focus on exactly what we are going to be doing moving forward.
Beneficiaries of the We Transform project shared their insights and perspectives on its impact.
Heard a lot of different stories from other people, and it has really helped me. I would like to tell my fellow female girls or women out there, if you have an issue that is worrying you, you have to speak up. You can look for social welfare, even if social welfare is not around. The girls in school, your teachers, and those that you believe in that will help you when you have a problem. You can share your stories with them, and then maybe they will pick it up from there.
It's been empowering. The experience has made me more of a Jessie, that's gender equity, social inclusion practitioner. The experience has made me improve upon my advocacy skills. The experience makes me network with a lot more women's rights organizations and to help them understand how well they can include disability programming in their work.
The workshop created an interactive space for key stakeholders to assess the project's impact, evaluate its progress, and discuss strategies to sustain and expand these efforts in future.
Well, with just 29 days to Ghana's December 7 election, some homeless persons in Accra say they feel left out of the political process, focused instead on daily survival over casting a ballot. Many of them express a sense of disconnection from the electoral system as they struggle to find food, shelter, and security on a daily basis on Accra streets. GH1 and Starr News' Victoria Bugri has more in the following report.
Being homeless is a daily struggle. At the Kwame Nkrumah interchange, commonly known as Circle, sleeping on the pavement is a familiar sight. But as the upcoming elections draw closer, will these individuals head to the polls? Some homeless citizens shared their thoughts, expressing skepticism that any government can truly improve the economy for the average Ghanaian. For many, survival, finding food and shelter is their top priority. The idea of voting, they say, feels distant and almost irrelevant. However, not everyone feels entirely disconnected. Some still feel a sense of responsibility to choose a candidate, albeit for reasons that may surprise you.
I'll vote for Baumia because what he has done to Ghana surprised me. That might surprise me because before you cannot send money through mobile phone to your parents, but now you can do all those things. The policy that he wrote is very important and it will help Ghana.
Others remain indifferent, saying they might wear a party t-shirt if given one, though that doesn't necessarily mean they will vote for that candidate.
NDC. Yes. Yes. NDC at time will be all. I have him see and tell me show you. Okay, me MPP now. Maka just me NDC ni MPP ni. Matthew Akora area to war.
As election day approaches, the voices of Ghana's homeless citizens serve as a poignant reminder of the deep divide between politics and the everyday struggle for survival.
All the poor economy, that's why we come like this. Because if I vote for somebody, the person couldn't help me in this Ghana, what would we do? Because we are young boys, we are youth, we need work. Because what we eat, that's why we are here. I'm a citizen. I did my town, but I shouldn't get some place to do. I shouldn't get work to do. Since I vote 4 times. I vote for anything. I'm an NPP candidate, but now I tire for them. Every day we sleep here. Some people think say we are mad because we sleep here. Because of the poor economy, that's why we sleep here.
For GH1 News, Victoria Abugris reports.
Now, the Ghana Revenue Authority says it will soon automate its tax collection system. Assistant Commissioner of Research and Policy at the GRA, Dr. Alex Combat, told the news team that the agency is hoping to phase out manual tax collection by 2025. According to Dr. Combat, fiscal cash will no longer be be the accessible medium for payments as electronic mediums such as bank transfers and mobile money transfers take over. He spoke on the sidelines of the 2024 Send Ghana Citizens Alternative Budget Forum here in Accra.
We are talking about automating our systems. That is to say that we are moving from manual way of taxation to a digital way of taxation. What do I mean by that? One, you cannot pay your tax by cash now, so it is cashless. You have to pay your cash or your taxes either through Momo, either through a bank, or maybe a bank transfer. So this is what we are talking about. We've also introduced what we call the EVAT invoicing system. Originally, we had people actually paying taxes using a manual way, that is the VAT, manual way of paying the taxes. So now we want to move from manual invoicing to the e-invoicing. So that is the second aspect of it. Now the third aspect, we have actually improved our compliance. So that is the fourth aspect. And as I said during the presentation, we are using our strategic plan, and we have planned all our activities in the strategic plan, which we are actually executing.
Dr. Alex Combat is Assistant Commissioner of Research and Policy at the Ghana Revenue Authority. It's now time to bring you sports. Jones Aji is in the studio with the details from the world of sports. Jones.
Okay, so quick one on the Black Stars. They will begin camp on Monday, the 11th of November, ahead of the AFCON qualifiers against Angola and Niger. Okay, now let's move on to the University of Ghana, because the new Director of Sports and Wellness at the Sports and Wellness Directorate at the University of Ghana, Dr. Austin Lugutera, has promised that the institution will maintain all the facilities they've inherited from the African Games. Dr. Lugutera, who was speaking at the launch of the University Community Games, says it is unlikely that the University of Ghana Stadium will host non-sporting events.
To prove everybody wrong and to let people understand that University of Ghana has the capacity to manage any facility. There's a research that indicates, and if you can look around, institutions, university institutions are better managers of facilities than national. We have the capacity, we have the knowledge. I mean, it is our area. Whilst people were schooling for something, we school in the sports. That's our area. I've gone through sports management. I'm teaching sports governance and policy. That's my area. That's my specialty.
So we'll see non-football, maybe programs at the UG Stadium?
Not necessarily, because for you to think about non-sports programs in the UG, you have to take precautions so that you don't do anything to damage the facility. You get a point? If we don't have anything to take care of the facility, then we will not accept non-sports programs. But if we are sure that we can have things to prevent the deterioration of our facility, especially our pitches, our Mondo track, this is key, because you will judge us someday if, let's say, that somebody comes to do his concert and at the end of it we can't use it for sports. What is the essence of the stadium? Is it for the concert or sports? Sports, of course.
All right, in the Ghana Premier League tonight, New Boys Vision FC would play Accra Folk at the University of Ghana Stadium at 7 p.m. And Coach Nana Ajimai of Vision FC says it's an honor to play Hearts of Oak, but believes that he can get all 3 points against the Remo Boys.
It's an honor in my career at this point to play Accra Hearts of Oak, and I think that we are ready, and we hope that we can go there and pick up 3 points. These are top players that have tasted the Ghana Premier League and know exactly what it is about. So, of course, having them in our team is definitely an honor. Isaac Huka is going through a goal drought, but it doesn't make him a bad striker. He contributes to goal scoring as much as he hasn't scored all by himself. But we're hoping that the game against his old club, Accra Hearts of Oak, is going to be the game that he's going to break the virginity of his goal scoring for Vision. Once that happens, I think that we're going to see the best of Isaac Huka.
Okay, that should do it for sports this afternoon. My name is Jones Aji.
Thank you very much, Jones, for bringing us the latest in sports. Are you happy about the new Manchester United coach?
Obviously.
Amorim.
Amorim Ball. Amorim Power.
The 39-year-old.
Yes, 39 years.
What makes you excited? Is it because he was able to beat
City 4-1,
Manchester City 4-1 in the Champions League?
We will not be happy about you saying that, but then I think that it is a coach who is going to bring on something new, you know, and he likes taking risks, and that is what I like about him. So for me, Amorim is coming. He starts on Monday. I'm so excited.
Do you think his system would fit with the kind of players that Manchester United has?
He's flexible. He's flexible enough to change things. So probably we will not go for that strict system that he's using at Sporting, but then we'll see something new, and we are coming for them.
Very well, Jones Aji, thank you for bringing us the latest in the world of sports. You're still listening to the Star Midday News here on Star 103.5 FM. We are live across the country on our affiliate stations.
FM in Kumasi, Empire 102.7 FM in Takrady, Zeps 95.9 FM in Zebila, Nissim 100.1 FM in Lamshao, My Star Radio in the USA, also live on Facebook on Star 103.5 FM and on starfm.com.gh around the world. This is Star 103.5 FM, Star News, informed, in depth, in touch.
Yes, this is Star 103.5 FM, and it's time for the campaign trail. And we've got just 29 days to election 2024. On the 7th of December 2024, we'll be going to the polls to go and vote. And of course, every day on the Star Midday News, we bring you the campaign trail to gauge the mood in the country as far as the various campaigns of the various political parties are concerned. And as we speak, the Vice President and leader of the NPP, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, is stationed in the Ashanti region campaigning. We are told that he's spending 15 days in the Ashanti region, which is a stronghold of the NPP, to make sure that he's able to garner enough votes to help him to chalk victory for the 2024 elections. Meanwhile, also in the Ashanti region, Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, is also campaigning, also trying to make sure that the NDC have a certain foothold on the Ashanti region as far as garnering votes is concerned. John Dramani Mahama, who is leader of the National Democratic Congress, former president of the country, who wants to stage a comeback, is currently in the central region, also campaigning. Meanwhile, running mate for Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia finds himself all the way in Damango. And of course, he's been speaking, and some of the words that he's been speaking has brought him some heavy criticism. Once again, we'll be getting to that here on the campaign trail. Meanwhile, in all of this, Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman of the NDC, who is a running mate as well, has been in the Western region campaigning. In all of this, the Electoral Commission of Ghana is yet to provide summary statistics in addition to a certified voters register that the various political parties have been asking for. The EC asked the political parties to give them time to be able to provide those statistics. The NDC were livid when those statistics were not provided and returned a hard drive which contain the certified register back to the Electoral Commission until those statistics are provided. We'll see how that plays out. Meanwhile, Parliament has been adjourned indefinitely once again. All the MPs had to leave their constituencies where they were campaigning to come back for this parliamentary recall. Now that the Speaker of Parliament has adjourned the House indefinitely once more, are these MPs going to go back to their constituencies to go and campaign? Well, the campaign trail is on. December 7 is just 29 days away. And of course, you're listening to Starr 103.5 FM, and this is the campaign trail. The MPP running mate, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, has come under fire once again for his utterances, this time because of what some say is him stoking religious tensions after claiming that the opposition NDC dislikes Muslims. Now, speaking in Damongo during a tour of the Savannah region, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh advised Muslims not to vote for the NDC, saying that it is an abomination or haram to do so.
Dr. Bawumia himself has rehabilitated 21 mosques. But listen to the history of Ghana. The only political party that broke down mosques, broke down the number one mosque in Accra is NDC. When they broke down the mosque in Accra, they called it Rolling Spot. When they broke down the mosque in Koforidua, they used it as a Dabish park. That is NDC for you. NDC, they don't like Muslims. They only use Muslims for vote. Listen, I say what? They only use Muslims. When President Kufuor built the Jubilee House for all presidents, and President Mills and Muhammad came, they said Jubilee House is near Nima, so they won't live there. It's in Nima, Zongo people, right? For 8 years, they never lived in Jubilee House because Jubilee House was near Zongo, and Zongo is Muslim. Meanwhile, they vote highest for NDC. That is why I say, if you are a Muslim and you take your pan and you go and vote, instead for Samuel Abuchi and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, you make a mistake and you vote for NDC. It is haram.
So that's Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh speaking in Damongo in the Savannah region. And like I was telling you, this has brought the running mate of the New Patriotic Party's candidate, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, under heavy fire and criticism. Social media has been reacting to this. My colleague Na Dede Tete is in the studio with some of these reactions. Now, it's interesting the comments that the vice presidential candidate of the NPP has been making, and how have people been reacting?
And, well, the reactions have been pouring in on both Instagram and on X as well as all the other social media platforms. Let me start off with some of the comments that have come in for Instagram. And so we've done some code cards in relation to what he said. So I'm going to read you comments from this particular post. For 8 years, they, which is the Professor Mills and John Dramani Mahama, never lived in the Jubilee House because it's near Zango, and Zango is Muslim. So let me bring you some of the reactions there. Someone says, what is this guy's policy? Someone says, who is this guy again? Another person also says, Kanda is not Zango. And someone also says, honestly, does this man listen to himself speak at all? Because how can he be spewing nonsense with so much confidence? Guys, say another thing, Krana. This one, dear, is non-fa with the religious hate propaganda you're trying to push. But there's a problem. Other story, look, I'm used to reading the news. I say other stories here. Also, someone says that now I have come to the realization that this man is a weapon fashioned against Bawumia. What sorts of cheap politics is this? Another person says, this man wants to bring religion into politics. Do you think Bawumia has a chance if we want to vote according to religion? Christians are the majority. Okay, so we don't counter the religious bit with another religious bit as well. This one says, always talking about Mahama. Hey, Napo. Then this one says, Efia Nana, he says that Asemi NDC for Ayenapo Kasa by heart drew. He just they talk anything that comes in mind. So the person essentially says that it looks as though the NDC has cursed Napo with Kasa by heart, that kind of medicine. So he talks anyhow.
That's essentially what the person is trying to say.
What the person is saying. And Papa Rule says that whoever is doing this man should stop. Why? Because and Diggle says that no good. That's not from Diggle. This one says inti nia atu kamalai. This man won't learn from it all. So this one says, what has happened to Kamala?
Won't he learn from it? Won't Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh learn from it?
Let me quickly touch base with what others are saying on X as well. Someone says that Napo shouldn't, so this is on X. Henry Mensah says that Napo shouldn't burden himself with such statements. Baumia is winning flat. Someone who says, Box, he says, no comments. And Efo Fide says, that's their campaign message. And the message goes on and on. Another person, Pearl, she says that I'm not even disappointed. And Rafi Sati says, politics is really ridiculous. And Henry Mensah just laughs. And the reactions give you an idea with regard to how people feel about such comments being made by a running mate and someone who has a good chance
of becoming
vice president as well. And so that's what people have been saying on social media in reaction to these comments by the running mate of the NPP flag bearer.
Very interesting comments being made by the flag bearer of, or should I say the running mates of the NPP.
You are swapping places.
No, running mates of the NPP. The flag bearer is in the Ashanti region campaigning.
And today is the 5th day.
Yeah, today is the 5th day. 15 days. So today is the 5th day, and after today there will be 10 days more for him to leave the Ashanti region. Meanwhile, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh is campaigning, saying that it is haram if you're a Muslim and you decide to vote for the NDC because the NDC doesn't like Muslims. It's pretty interesting. But anyway, yes, this is still the campaign trail. And still on the campaign trail, the First Lady Rebecca Akufo-Addo has met with chiefs and constituents in the Dom Kwabenya and Amasaman constituencies with a call for massive votes for the NPP's presidential candidates, Dr. Baumia, and parliamentary candidates Aaron Mike Okwe. Now, the First Lady told the constituents that a vote for the candidates will ensure the continuation of developmental projects in the area.
The first port of call for the First Lady, Rebecca Akufo-Addo, was the Abokobi Palace, where she interacted with the chiefs and constituents, asking for massive votes for both Dr. Mahmoud Baumia and the parliamentary candidate for Dom Kwabenya, Michael Aaron Okwe Jr. From there, she visited the Zanrama Presbyterian Church at Abokobi before making an appearance at the Dom Market, where she was greeted by a mammoth rally. The First Lady urged the constituents to vote massively for the NPP to ensure continuity of developmental projects in the area.
Dr. Baumia, can you be Ebakoshi? Ni Eba, Fe, ni Ghana, Aya, Ehi. No, Nyaha opportunity. Benin and Fe Nagai, Nyaha, Michael Quay Jr. Opportunity, and never served me. And we are Kaboko Bibi, Neboti in your house. Neboti in your hand, Bibi. She feel strongly at this time.
Parliamentary candidates for the area, Michael Okwe Jr., also had this to say.
No mistake, it's happened. No plan, party commit, a free maternity. You may ameba humi. Free metro mass, ni ameba humi. School feeding program, NHIS free. Tagwene hulu ekeche. Atiba kidoni akeba free SHS.
The First Lady also continued to the Amasaman constituency to garner for votes for Yahya Al-Hassan, who is the party's parliamentary candidate.
And you've just heard from the first lady who has been campaigning in the Dom Kwabenya area. Well, after a star-studded summer of campaigning, it seems that even a call from the Avengers wasn't enough to secure the presidency for Kamala Harris in the U.S. elections. Now, as Ghana prepares to go to the polls later this year, GH1 News' Al-Hassan Awudu brings us a desk report on notes politicians can take from it.
H-Town, our moment right now. It's time for America to sing a new song.
In the just ended 2024 U.S. presidential election, Kamala Harris seems like the front runner. She had the backing of numerous A-list celebrities who endorsed her, from movie stars to athletes and musicians, with singer Beyoncé even banning Donald Trump from using her hit song Freedom for his campaigns. The public saw Kamala as a beacon of hope and change, following in the footsteps of the first female vice president, a breakthrough for gender equality in the highest office of the land.
Are we ready to make history? Are we ready to change these 4 years? No. Are we ready to change the next 8 years? Because we're going to make sure we have Kamala Harris in office for 8 years.
Despite the stellar endorsement, Harris still lost the election to her opponent. While there were many reasons for her defeat, one key factor stood out: the disconnect between the celebrities who endorsed her and the average American voter. The endorsements from A-list celebrities may have generated buzz and excitement in Hollywood and on social media, but they did not resonate with the voters in the heartland, as some voters saw the endorsement as a sign of elitism and disconnectedness from their everyday struggles. As Ghana prepares to go to the polls in December this year, what lessons can be learned by politicians from the U.S. situation? Many believe while endorsements from celebrities can be powerful, they must be balanced with a genuine understanding of the issues facing the people and a commitment to serving their interests. In Ghana, where poverty, corruption, and inequality are pressing issues, voters are looking for candidates who can offer real solutions and tangible improvements to their lives. They want leaders who will listen to their concerns, engage with their communities, and prioritize the need of the people over the interests of the elites. Politicians should remember the lessons of Kamala Harris' defeat, that celebrity endorsements are not enough to win an election. For GH1 News, Al-Hassan out.
Well, some lessons there to be learned from what has happened to Kamala Harris in the just ended U.S. elections. And you might be familiar with what pollsters have been predicting about Ghana's presidential election. But there are persons who need no questionnaires, nor laborious surveys and data analytics. They zoom straight into the future through the lenses of their spiritual giftings. One such person is the General Overseer of the Overcomers Praise Assembly International Apostle Cosby Ni Amate. He's not just predicting who is leading in the yet-to-be-held elections, but also has a warning for both that president and the nation. My colleague, Ivan Heathcote Fumado, has a wrap of his predictions as he spoke on Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi.
In exactly a month, Ghanaians will be deciding who becomes the next president and which candidates make it to the 9th Parliament. While pollsters keep collating and updating findings, persons who look into the future through spiritual means are also very much alive. One of such persons is General Overseer of the Overcomers Praise Assembly International, Apostle Cosby Niamate, per his spiritual reading, while John Dramani Mahama of the National Democratic Congress was leading with 53% of the votes. By mid-November, the tally has now changed, with John Dramani Mahama leading by 50%.
Mama is still leading, like I keep telling you. Every day I've been checking. Mama, as we are speaking, I think 2 weeks ago, Mama was leading. I think 3 weeks ago it was 50.3%, and Baumia was, I think, 49.7 or something.
Reverend, when you say you've been checking, yes, spiritually, is there a signboard you are seeing and the numbers are written there? What
I mean, as you pray to God, God is our Father. It's like you are there. When your child comes and asks you something, like we have good will, permissive will, and then we have the perfect will of God. Then just update this and put it. So, I mean, Mama is still on the lead. As I'm speaking, it's now 50% against 49%.
50% for John Dramani Mahama.
Yeah. It's still leading.
Reverend Cosby Amate, who prophesied the win for Donald Trump in America's elections, explained to host Julius Caesar Anadem on the Ultimate Breakfast Show what he saw before making the pronouncements, which turned out as he prophesied.
Then God told me that Trump is going to win. So I was very shocked. I said, if Trump is going to win and I put the thing out there, then what is going to happen? He said, then I asked why. He said, because the woman, which is Kama, blasphemed him on a campaign stage. He said, Kama blasphemed him on a campaign stage. And I said, how? Then he said, Kama said something like, that's your God. So because of that, your God, instantly, Kama lost, and the scepter was weeks from Kama. And that is how come I came and posted almost all my social platform that Trump is going to win. And
Apostle Cosby Niamate, however, has a warning for anyone who becomes the next president of Ghana. He says that president will be faced with a power crisis, otherwise doomsday, within his first year of governance.
And I'm repeating it again. There's going to be doomsday early next year. I think, I don't know what I've already told you.
Yeah, you said it.
Yeah, there's going to be. And also,
Apostle Cosby Mensah, still speaking on the Ultimate Breakfast Show, gave a caveat as to the finality of who wins December 7. He says it will matter what he prophesies by the end of November.
November ending, like I told you, November ending, the realm ceases. There is not going to be any change. Like I told you, the realms keep changing. That is why some previous days, Mama was 50.4%, Baumia was 49.7%. So it keeps changing. That is why I told you that by November ending, everything ceases. And that is when I can come up boldly and even put it out there. This year election is all about God and nothing else.
Well, until then, we wait to get a peep into December 7 through the eyes of the prophet. Reporting for Starr News, Ivan Heathcote Fumado, Ultimate FM, Kumasi.
Well, there you have it. December 7 is just around the corner. We've got 29 days more till December 7, 2024, where all of us will go to the polls to go and decide who will become our next president, which party will form the next government, and who is going to represent us in Parliament. Your vote is your choice, and we'll urge you to go out there and exercise your franchise for whoever you want to vote for. This will do it for the campaign trail here on Starr 103.5 FM, effectively also doing it for the Starr Midday News here on Starr 103.5 FM. For more news, log on to starfm.com.gh. Also take a look at our social media handles at Starr 103.5 FM on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and on X. My name is Lantam Papanko. Have a good day.